Bundelkhand is a geographic region of central India. The region is now divided between the states of Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, with the larger portion lying in the latter. The major towns of Bundelkhand are Jhansi, Banda, Chitrakoot, Datia, Tikamgarh, Rath, Lalitpur, Sagar, Damoh, Orai, Panna, Hamirpur, Mahoba, Banda, Narsinghpur and Chhattarpur. Mewat is a historical region of Haryana and Rajasthan states in northwestern India. The loose boundaries of Mewat are not precisely determined but generally include Mewat district of Haryana and parts of Alwar, Bharatpur and Dholpur districts of Rajasthan. Mewat district was carved from erstwhile Gurgaon, and Hatin subdivision of Faridabad district came into existence on 4th April 2005 as the 20th district of the Haryana state. After the formation of Palwal district, Hatin subdivision was transferred to Pawal district, Nook town in Mewat district's headquarters. Hence, in this episode, the following aspects are going to be seen. Number 1, history, geography, culture, tourist attractions and economy of Bundelkhand. Number 2, history, geography, culture, tourist attraction and economy of Mewat. Bundelkhand, historic region of central India, now included in northern Madhya Pradesh state, comprising the hilly Vindhyan region, is cut by ravines and the northeastern plain. Steep, isolated hills rising abruptly from the plains have provided excellent sites for castles and strongholds of Bundelkhand mountaineers. The Gaharwars, the earliest recorded dynasty of Bundelkhand, or Jejaka Bhutti, were succeeded by the Pratihara Rajputs. The later was supplanted about 800 CE by the Chandelas, who by the 11th century held sway over a large territory between the Yamuna and the Narmada rivers. The Chandelas were overthrown in 1182 by Prithviraja, the ruler of Ajmer and Delhi. After a period of ruinous anarchy, Bundela Rajputs, for whom the country is named, began to settle there in the 14th century, and for centuries afterwards they engaged in guerrilla warfare against the Muslim power of Delhi. In 1545, Sher Shah Suri, who had defeated the Mughal Emperor Humayun, invaded Bundelkhand but lost his life while besieging the fortress of Kalinjar. In 1569, Kalinjar surrendered to the forces of Mughal Emperor Akbar. With the decline of the Mughals, the Marathas extended their influence in 1792, were acknowledged as the lords of Bundelkhand. In 1803, the districts of Banda and Hamirpur were transferred to the British, and by the Treaty of Pune, the British government acquired from the Marathas all territorial rights over the region. Jhansi is the gateway to Bundelkhand. It was a stronghold of Chandela kings but lost its importance after the eclipse of the dynasty in the 12th century. It rose to prominence again in the 17th century under King Bir Singh Judeo of Orcha. However, its greatest claim to fame is its fiery queen Rani Lakshmi Bai, who led forces against the British in 1857 and sacrificed her life for the cause of India's independence. Jhansi is an ideal base for exploring the historic and natural treasures of Bundelkhand. Historically, Bundelkhand included several districts that are now in Uttar Pradesh. Prior to 1947, however, the name was restricted politically to the princely states of the Bundelkhand Agency, created in 1802 as a sub-agency of the British Central India Agency. In 1948, Bhaglekand and Bundelkhand merged into Vindhya Pradesh, which, with several former enclaves of southern Uttar Pradesh, merged with Madhya Pradesh in 1956. Bundelkhand thus no longer has any political identity. Geography of Bundelkhand. Bundelkhand region is located between 23 degrees 20 seconds and 26 degrees 22 north latitude and 78 degrees 20 seconds and 81 degrees 40 seconds east longitude. There are mainly three rivers in the district, namely Ken, Baghen and Yamuna. Bundelkhand is hot and semi-humid region. Minimum temperatures varies from around 6 degrees centigrade to 12 degrees centigrade in Chhattarpur. Maximum temperature varies from 38 degrees to 48 degrees centigrade. It is one of the hottest places in India and several people die of sunstroke here every year. Bundelkhand gets moderate annual rainfall ranging from around 750 millimeters in the northwest to 1250 millimeters in the southeast. Over 95% of the rainfall falls between June and September, with maximum rain generally in July to August. However, the small amount of rainfall between November to May is also very important for agriculture in this region. 4 districts of Bundelkhand are Jalaun, Bhanda, Chittarkut, Hamirpur and Mahoba fall under the category of drought-prone area used by the 1981 National Committee on Development of Backward Areas. Culture of Bundelkhand. Over the centuries, a rich and a diverse tradition of song and dance emerged across Bundelkhand region. Several local cultures exist in this region independent of mainstream Hindu religious tradition. Bundeli culture has many dimensions in the form of folk dances, folk songs, folk arts, musical instruments and many festivals and celebrations, giving opportunity to artists to demonstrate their performance. The main folk dances are Diwali. This dance is performed every year during the festival of light Diwali in the end of October or first week of November according to lunar calendar. Ravala. It is basically a dance drama. The farm labor community performs Ravala during marriages. Badhaiya. Badhaiya is a ceremonial dance. It is performed on childbirth, marriages or any get-together to celebrate happiness and joy. Rai. Through the centuries, Rai has been the folk dance which has touched its peak as a classical dance. Later, Rai had degenerated its aesthetical value and lost its classical expression. Today, it remains simply as a folk dance. Rai means a mustard seed. Pahunai. This song and dance is performed to welcome guests. Kachiyahi. This song and dance performed by women and men of the backward Kachi caste. Kolhai. This song and dance is peculiar to the Kol tribals of the Pata region. The main folk songs are Fag. Fag song and its rhythmic music could be heard in the whole region during spring season where the crops are ready for harvesting. Fag was enriched in the early 20th century by a folk poet Aisuri, who is credited to have composed over 1,000 fags. Alha. Alha reciting is organized to entertain the farmers during monsoon. Dadre and Gari. This is the main folklore of Bundelkhand. As a Gari, they show the happiness and joy to express their feeling for the blissful movement when the auspicious marriage is taking place. Lamtera. It means call of God. Lamtera songs are sung by Bundeli pilgrims during devotional festivals in the month of January, February and March after Rabi crop in winter blossoms. Khayal. In Khayal Gayaki, a singer recites mythical stories, heroic deeds, the social events and the deep family relations. In this expression of songs, a very special drum, dhapli, gives very special beats which harmonize emotions. Kaharva. In the expression of folklore, Kaharva, the sentiments of heart culminate into romantic expression. The song is always sung by a drummer who follows the dance of Rai, which is why this dance is also known as Rai Kaharva. Sohar. This is sung on the occasion of a birth of a child. Achri. This is a folk song performed in honor of Mother Goddess, especially during Navratri. Got. This is a song from which a strange rhythm sung through the night to seek good health of cattle. Ahari. These are sung to welcome the rains. Tambura bhajans. These are songs usually sung to Kabir's lyrics celebrating a Nirguni godhead. Tourist attraction of Bundelkhand. There are several important locations present in Bundelkhand region. Some of these are discussed here. Jhansi Fort. This fort has been a witness to the fiery battle led by Queen Lakshmi Bai. These are beautiful temples of Lord Shiva and Ganesha inside the fort. The Karak Bijli and the Bhavani Shankar cannons of the Queen are kept here. Government Museum. Weapons, statues, dresses and photographs that represent the Chandela dynasty and a picture gallery are highlights of the museum. Rani Mahal. The palace of Queen Lakshmi Bai is a fine piece of traditional architecture which has now been converted into a museum. It houses a collection of archaeological remains of the period between the 9th and the 12th century AD. The city of lakes, Mahoba. Mahoba, which is 140 kilometers from Jhansi, is associated with the Chandela kings who ruled over Bundelkhand between the 9th and the 12th century. At Mahoba, the impregnable hilltop fort and the lakes they created are considered to be engineering feats. The wonderful water management system of Chandela period can still be seen here. Kakra Math Temple. This granite temple dedicated to Lord Shiva is located at the Madan Sagar. Sun Temple at Rahila. This 19th century granite temple lies to the west of Rahila Sagar, an artificial lake. Maniya Dev Temple. This temple, dedicated to the tutelary deity of the Chandelas, stands on the bank of Madan Sagar near the fort. The fort, a historical treasure house. Situated at a height of 700 feet in the Vindhya ranges, this old and massive fort is accessible through 7 gateways. The Alamgir Darwaza, Ganesh Dwar, Chandi, Buddha Bhandara Dwar, Hanuman Dwar, Lai Darwaza and the Bhara Darwaza. Within the fort are the remains of 2 palaces of the Raja Mahal and the Rani Mahal, as well as several other places of interest. History of Mewat district is intertwined with that of the district. In fact, Mewat region has an astonishing history and is said that it approximately corresponds to the Matsya kingdom of 5th century BC. Hasan Khan Mewati was the most famous chieftain of Mewat who fought against Babur, the Mughal emperor, in the Battle of Khanwa in 1527. It was under the Mughal rule that Mewat came under the Rajputs. This region, for its odd location, has experienced repeated attack all through the post-Vedic period, which contributed to the backwardness of the region. The medieval India witnessed the rise of Jats in certain parts of Mewat, India. Mewat, land of the Meos, has its genesis in its tribal inhabitants, the Meo tribals, who are agriculturists. The area is a distinct ethnic and socio-cultural tract. The Meos, who trace their roots to the early Aryan invasion of northern India, call themselves Kshatriyas and have preserved their social and cultural traits to a surprisingly large extent, unlike the other tribes of nearby areas. During the reign of Tughlaq dynasty in the 14th century AD, these people embraced Islam, but till today they have maintained their age-old distinctive ethno-cultural identity. Historically, the region has been extremely turbulent and has been subjected to repeated invasions and resultant plundering throughout the post-Vedic period, largely due to a situational peculiarity of the area and the non-subjugative attitude of the people. The destruction and devastation over the centuries resulted in backwardness and gross underdevelopment of both the area and its proud people. Geography of Mewat district. Mewat lies between 26 degrees and 30 degree north latitude and 76 degree and 78 degree east longitude. It is bounded by Gurgaon district, Rewari district, Faridabad district in north, west and east respectively. Southwise, it shares the margin with the state of Rajasthan. There is an irregularity as far as the landscape of Mewat is concerned. It has the hills and hillocks of the Aravalli mountain as well as the extensive plains. So, geographically, the region is divided into upland and lowland. Mewat district experiences extremely hot temperature in summer as it falls under subtropical semi-arid zone. Except for the monsoon season, the weather is normally dry. The temperature in the months of May and June ranges from 30 degrees centigrade to 48 degrees centigrade, and in January it varies from 4 degrees to 25 degrees centigrade. Rainfall is at times accompanied by thunderstorms or hailstorms in the monsoon season. Humidity is low in greater part of the year and rises only during the monsoon. Mewat district has large population of Muslims and are known as Mewoks. The Meos had embraced Islam during the region of Tughlaq dynasty. They were actually Rajput Hindus. Many Meos have retained their caste names and have preserved their ethnicity till date. They celebrate both Hindu and Muslim festivals. They follow the culture of Pals and Gotra as it is done by the Hindu Kshatriyas. Sat Kumbh fair is one of the most important religious celebrations. It takes place twice a year. The mayors assimilate here in large numbers. An object of their pilgrimage is the tomb of Saint Shah Chok. This fair is also attended by the Hindus. The Meo men wear turbans around their head and put on a long flowing gown, and the women abstain from wearing burqa. The Mewat district is newly formed and the people are mainly engaged in agricultural activities. The literacy rate is very low, but the preservation of culture of the Meo tribe is indeed commendable. Tourist attraction of the Mewat district. The Mewat circuit, comprising of Bharatpur, Tonk, Alwar and Swami Mandadhopur, is that this circuit is a belt where you can find prehistoric as well as historic ruins and sites, and also lush greenery, lakes and wooded hills with a variety of flora and fauna. Interspersed with forts, palaces and pilgrim spots, the Mewat circuit also offers you the tranquility of the greens. Some of the tourist places are Bharatpur. Bharatpur is famed for its wildlife sanctuary, but it has a softer side too. The Bharatpur Palace is a lovely blend of Rajput and Mughal architecture and was built by different kings. Lakshman Mandir. This temple, dedicated to Lakshmana, Lord Rama's brother, flaunts some elaborate carvings on stones in the pillar, arches and doorways. Ganga Mandir. This is also a beautiful temple whose construction began by Maharaja Balwant Singh in 1845. As a temple is for the people, every person employed by the state was asked to contribute their monthly salary for its construction. Keoladeo National Park. This park spreads over a sprawling area of 29 square feet kilometers. It is a sanctuary for 350 species of birds, 35 species of butterflies. It's during winter that migratory birds migrate from Central Asia and Europe. Tonk. Tonk is included in the Mewat circuit, comprising Alwar, Bharatpur and Savai Madhopur. Tonk is a lovely city close to Jaipur and Savai Madhopur. This is an ancient place and is known to have a connection with Bhairat culture and civilization. Tonk is important from historical point of view as it was a part of Harshvardhan's empire. Bilaspur. Bilaspur in Tonk is famous for the Gorkaneshwar temple where Ravana, the king of Lanka, had meditated in. The Bhanas river splits the Aravalli ranges here. Bilaspur also has a dam. Raj Mahal. On the banks of the Bhanas river is Raj Mahal Palace. This is the confluence of three rivers, Bhanas, Khari and Dai. Tourists enjoy boating here. Sunahari Koti. As the walls of this koti have golden polish on it, it's called Sonahari Koti. This place is also known as Sheesh Mahal as the walls are adorned with glasses, mirrorworks and diamonds. Other embellishments include the dedicated and beautiful Menakari and the Pachikari work. Paintings and flowers also adorn the walls. Alwar Fort. Perched on a hill, this majestic fort is 1960 feet above sea level and 1000 feet above the city. This fort, built by Hasan Khan Mewati, changed hands from Mughals to the Marathas, the Jats and ultimately besieged by the Kachwaha Rajputs. There are 6 entrances or pauls leading indoors. Temple ruins. 8 kilometers from Tehla village are the wondrous ruins of several 10th century temples which are beautifully carved. There is a Shiva Temple also which is functional despite the inaccessibility. Sagar. Sagar is a scenic tank located on an abandoned fort. What makes it attractive and worth a mention is that a flight of stairs leads to the bottom and is surrounded by cenotaphs made of red marble slabs. Sariska Tiger Reserve. In the dense forested region of the reserve, you can spot Indian tigers, nilgai, sombar, hyena and many monkeys. Jogi Mahal. Jogi Mahal is a palace located on the foot of Ranthambore Fort. It also offers a panoramic view of the Padam Talao. It also has the second largest banyan tree in India. Even in broad daylight, you can spot tigers moving freely. Ganesh Temple. Located within Ranthambore Fort, it's held in reverence. Other places where you can spot tigers easily are the lakes where tigers frequently visit. Milak Talab, Rajbhag Talab are some of them. Conclusion. Bundelkhand has been a land of brave warriors who have fought and sacrificed their life for their country's independence. Such bravery has been shown by both men and women, and their names have been written in golden letters in the history of India's first war of independence. Every state, village and countryside of Bundelkhand, one may conclude that it is the bravest and sacrificing state of all.